Greetings to the 5 people watching this. In case you didn't see my last video, which you probably didn't because who needs notifications, right? That seems to be a foreign concept to YouTube. Thanks, fuckers! Anyway, I'm not quitting YouTube after all. So, yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into the discussion for today. So I was going to make a full-blown E3 discussion video, but I decided not to because, really only a few things stuck out to me, which I guess just so happened to be the very few things worth a damn, and the biggest reason everybody's like, Nintendo won E3 this year, which, I mean, probably wasn't that hard to do, all things considered. Shit's been kind of rough as far as games go, but Nintendo definitely seems to have the best lineup so far. Of course, there's Metroid Dread, which, as a Metroid fan, I very much appreciated that one. That's nice, and I love 2D Metroid in particular. I am looking forward to Metroid Prime 4 as well, but Metroid Dread looks pretty fucking sweet, and that's apparently a title that Nintendo's just been holding on to for a while for a potential Metroid 5, and it took them 1,000 years to make it, but now they're making it, and yeah, it looks like it's gonna be nice. It's probably a day one buy for me, honestly. Probably a day one buy for sure. That is gonna be my Halloween game, probably. Of course, there was also Shin Megami Tensei 5, which I think is also coming out sometime this year, but I don't remember when. Definitely this year, though, and they showed off gameplay. That looks pretty good. As someone who has dabbled in a little bit of Shin Megami Tensei, mostly Persona 5, but I've tried out some of the others as well. That looks pretty good. So I can definitely fuck with that one. And then they finally showed some gameplay for Breath of the Wild 2. And it's supposed to come out in 2022, but the way things are, who really knows? That remains to be seen, but at least there's finally some gameplay and a release window, so that's nice. Anyway, now to address the demon-blooded elephant in the room, Kazuya in Smash Brothers. So that came out of left freaking field. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy about it. It wasn't necessarily the character that I wanted. I've been banking on Crash Bandicoot for a while now. Pretty much ever since a second Fighter's Pass was announced, but it's yet to happen. And now we're down to one freaking character, so whoever that is the last one. It's the last one we'll ever get. At least in Ultimate, so better be a good one! But hey, even if it isn't, I mean, we got Banjo-Kazooie in the last Fighter's Pass, so I think that's all anyone can really ask for. Unless you're a greedy fuck! Which a lot of people seem to be. Myself included sometimes. But yeah. I've said in the past that I don't normally care for fighting game characters in other fighting games, and as far as Soul Calibur guest characters go, Heihachi was the least interesting one by far, in my opinion. If that is a controversial opinion, then whatever. I don't give a shit. But Kazuya in Smash Brothers, I can actually fuck with that one. I've actually been kind of, ever since I heard that Bandai Namco was helping with the last Smash game, I'm like, could we potentially see some Tekken characters? I wonder. But that's yet to happen until now. Until this very moment that we're in right now. And I'm totally for it. Unfortunately, that does probably mean that Lloyd Irving is just out. But that's not happening. He's probably going to return as a Mii Fighter costume, or not at all, but most likely as a Mii Fighter costume. It's pretty much where we're at. Which, as someone who did really want Lloyd Irving in the game, or at least some sort of Tales of rep, this is mildly disappointing, but I think Tekken is the best alternative, and Tekken's been with me a lot longer than Tales of has, so as far as like nostalgia goes and all that, I'm all for Kazuya, and seems like he's playing very similarly to how he does in Tekken. I'm not sure how they're implementing him in, but from what they've shown off, whole lot of Tekken-y goodness going on in Smash Brothers. Which is not really something I ever thought that I would see, but here we are. Also, gotta love the reference to the games when they were like, Kazuya gets ready for the next battle. I very much appreciated that, and shit, as soon as I saw some guy yeeting somebody off a cliff, I'm like, oh, that's gotta be somebody from Tekken, and then they showed Kazuya, I'm like, oh. Oh. Okay. This is fine. This is more than okay. Wasn't expecting it though, what the hell? Shit, after the Heihachi Mii Fighter costume, I figured that was all the Tekken representation we were gonna get, but I ain't complaining about this. Also, I never did talk about Pyra and Mithra in Smash Brothers, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I completely ignored that. I think the last character I talked about, for anybody who saw that, which, again, probably very few people did, because, again, who needs notifications? Fuck them, am I right? You're enough bitching about that. Never did talk about Pyra and Mithra, though, so what are my thoughts on them? It's whatever. I don't really play Xenoblade. I've played the first Xenoblade Chronicles for like 5 minutes, and it was a pretty good 5 minutes, and I would like to play more of that at some point. And I wouldn't mind playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 either. Just one big problem with that. That game suddenly skyrocketed in price out of fucking nowhere. So that's always nice when that happens. Doesn't even seem like that game came out that fucking long ago, and it's already, like, up in the stratosphere. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Wouldn't be surprised if it's because of Pyra and Mithra that that game's suddenly just way up in the air. It's like, please stop. Please stop making games more expensive than anything else in the fucking world. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, Pyra and Mithra are cool, and, you know, they're pretty fun, and they're, definitely top-tier waifu material for sure. Oh, but Smash Brothers is totally for good boys and girls. I believe you, Sakurai. That's why you got the fucking titty twins up in this bitch. Totally for good boys and girls, though. Anyway. Now for, who I think the next character should be, or who I think it might be. I didn't really think Crash Bandicoot has a very good chance of getting in. If not him, then I would very much like to see Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden as well. He's been talked about a lot. And what makes him more interesting than other quote-unquote fighting game characters, because I know he's technically from Dead or Alive, but I mean, he first appeared in Ninja Gaiden, so... But he's considered a Dead or Alive character as well. But here's the thing, At no point in Dead or Alive does Ryu Hayabusa ever pull out his fucking sword. I know bringing a sword to a fist fight is unfair, but I'm just saying, dude never uses his fucking sword in Dead or Alive. But Smash Brothers would be a good opportunity for there to be a fighting game where he actually uses his goddamn sword, and possibly other weapons too, because, you know, Ninja Gaiden Hacked / Trilogy, which, you know, recently got re-released on Switch via collection. He's got all kinds of fucking weapons. All kinds of fucking weapons up his arsenal. He's got, nunchucks. Fucking spiky bow staff. Other shit. Point is, he's got a lot of fucking weapons, so I'm sure implementing him would be difficult if they were gonna, like, have all of his weapons, but I'm sure they could find some way to do it. After all, they implemented a bunch of weapons for Byleth. So I'm sure they could do the same for Ryu Hayabusa. Anyway, I also think Rayman has a pretty good chance of getting in at this point. Honestly, if not Crash or Ryu, it's about time we get Rayman. Because they've been cock-teasing us with Rayman since Smash 4, because, you know, the trophy, and then Ultimate has the spirit, and, I mean, spirits, characters who are already spirits can still be characters, because Min, so Rayman can totally happen, and he should. Just saying. And fucking Nintendo and Ubisoft are pretty tight. Been doing a lot of collaborations. You got Mario plus Rabbids, which I've actually been playing a little bit, and that game was a lot better than it should be, for sure. Like, that game should not be as good as it is, but it actually kind of is. Anyway, they're making a sequel to that, and there's Starlink, which is a Ubisoft game with Star Fox characters, so Ubisoft and Nintendo are fucking two peas in a pod, and then you got the Rabbids hats in Ultimate. So give us Rayman. Give us Rayman, or give us Crash, or yeah, any of the characters I mentioned. Ryu Hayabusa, Crash Bandicoot, Rayman, fucking Rayman, because you've been cock-teasing Rayman forever. So just make it happen. Just make it fucking happen. No matter who it is, the last character needs to be somebody hype as fuck. Otherwise, it's just gonna be like, wah, wah, wah. Because fucking Fighters Pass 1 already ended on Byleth, which was kind of a fucking sour note if you ask me. I'm not even one of the Byleth haters, but even I can admit that was kind of a shitty last character. That was a shitty way to end that Fighters Pass. So it had been pretty good up to that point. You had Joker from Persona 5, which was hype as fuck. Hero from Dragon Quest, which was pretty hype. Banjo-Kazooie, which is still the most hype reveal so far, in my opinion. Terry Bogard was a pretty decent addition as well. And then Byleth was just like, fucking the most hype thing to come out of Byleth being a thing was the fucking Cuphead Mii Fighter costume. And when the most hype thing is a Mii Fighter costume, you know there's a fucking problem. But anyway, yeah, the very last character to ever hit Smash Bros. Ultimate needs to be something hype as fuck, so like, Crash Bandicoot or Rayman, those are like the only two characters I can think of who would really rile up the fucking crowd. Or Spyro. Spyro would work too, but I'm actually a bigger fan of Spyro than Crash, as controversial of an opinion as that may be. But I do think Crash deserves to be in Smash Bros. More, just because. And I know a lot more people would be more happy about Crash than Spyro. So I'm just thinking about everybody with that one. And I'd be pretty happy about it too. But, again, if not Crash, then Rayman. But, I don't know, I feel like this discussion has already been going on a little too long. And by a little, I mean a lot. So, with all that said, I'll see you fantastic folks later. Peace.